This isn't a movie. It's a money laundry scheme. When they take your money, they don't want you to ask for a refund. And even if you do, they won't give it back. Hello, everybody. It's Living Corpse, and I saw Iron Lung. It was good. Go see it. Seriously, though, it was a good movie. I got to see an early screening on January 29th at my local theater, so I'm a little late on this review. The story is based on the video game of the same name. In the future, humans have started to colonize space, and an event known as the Quiet Rapture happened. Basically, all habitable planets and their stars just vanish instantly. So, all those stars you see, they're gone. Space is stupidly big, like humans can't even comprehend. It takes 8 minutes for light from our sun to reach Earth, and that's the closest star to us. Others are, millions of light years away. So all that's left of humans is some spacecraft and space stations, and there's a few dead moons with a human population just barely above 700 with resources dwindling. And one of these moons has an ocean of blood on it. So the main character, Simon, is a convict being sent in this piece of junk sub made from scrap metal called the Iron Lung to investigate the blood ocean. If he finds something useful, they promise to give him his freedom. The sub wasn't made for these depths, so they had to weld him in and cover the port window, so he has to use a camera to take pictures to navigate his way through the ocean. They actually came up with a pretty cool explanation for how it works. It's actually an X-ray machine, because a normal camera would not be able to see through all that blood. Now, early on, he encounters weird stuff like the skeleton of a large creature and even some living creatures circling the Iron Lung. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be hilarious if the movie literally ended there with the sea monsters destroying the sub in the first 30 minutes and people paid for a 30-minute short they could have watched on YouTube and they're just pissed off? When they bring him back up, he tells them what he found, but they send him back down to retrieve a sample of the skeleton and ignore his plight about how there are living things down there. They want him to ram the Iron Lung into the jawbone of the skeleton and hopefully get a piece stuck on it so they have a sample to study. Of course, Simon is not only scared to go back in the blood ocean, but he's also scared of even doing that because the Iron Lung is barely holding itself together, and of course, when they send him back, the skeleton is missing. I do like that we get some background on Simon, because in the original game, we don't even get a name for the character we played. Basically, two factions of humanity, what's left of them, had an open conflict, proving that even in something as weird as the Quiet Rapture, humans are their own worst enemies. So really, Simon is more of a prisoner of war. And we do get flashbacks on who he is as a person and what led up to his capture. Markiplier did a great job with his acting. I bought Simon as a person, and not once did I get taken out of the movie and think to myself, I'm just watching Markiplier play a character. That's going to be a case-by-case thing for individuals, but I personally did not have that problem. I wouldn't personally say the movie scared me, except for near the end. The movie actually managed to do something I didn't think was possible and make me scared of blood. Kind of crazy because of how I normally look at blood as something alluring. If you know, you know. I blame vampire media. The music is great. We get original music for the movie as well as some tracks from the game. And they even managed to make something like navigating with a paper map intense. And Troy Baker's in the movie, so that's cool. There was a moment I thought the movie ended when he sees a vision or hallucination, depending on your interpretation, of another world, and it goes to black. We still had 30 more minutes. I didn't mind. I would have been fine either way with it ending there or continuing, and, well, it chose to continue. There was a neat little moment that took me a second to process about what happened, and then I realized, oh, that sort of makes sense. The oxygen meter went up when some blood got in the Iron Lung, and I was confused, but then I remembered blood carries oxygen. Now, if I have to give some negatives, some of the sound mixing for a character near the end of the movie got kind of hard to understand. There's also a lack of structures he finds. In the game, you can find structures, and it's creepy. He does find one in the film, but at that point, he's lost and so desperate to map his way back home, he doesn't care and just writes on the map alien shit. Also, a minor spoiler. I wasn't a fan of one of the antagonistic forces being given a voice, though granted that could have been a hallucination and not real. So other than that very minor spoiler, I want people to go to this movie and learn the story as they watch it. I think this movie opened the way for more experimental independent films. Pretty short review, I know. There was a trailer that did get me. Passenger. It's an upcoming horror film. These guys are driving in the woods, and one of them has to pee. When he comes back, he finds the driver is missing, and then bad stuff happens. And then he climbs in the car and drives off. And a legitimately cool concept happened where as he's driving by, he sees this figure by the side of the road. He drives past him. And then as he gets further up the road, he sees that same figure, drives past him. And then as he drives, by that figure a third time, it's the same figure over and over. And yeah, of course, it's a jump scare trailer, but the jump scare's actually earned. There's build up to it. It's not just random. And I kind of got a little jump scare of myself because I forgot about that trailer until I was driving home in the truck after buying some snacks, and the radio just randomly got a little bit louder because it's kind of a broken mess. The radio sometimes gets louder for no reason, and it made me jump scare, and then I remembered the trailer. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching or listening, whatever.